Hey there, Leo. It's time for your weekly horoscope for the coming 7 days. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you may also simply follow the links down below. This is the last week of the August sale, 20% off all services, including gift certificates. You're perfectly welcome to get a gift certificate and use it after the sale ends. I'm cool with that. But you do want to make sure you get on that now if you wanted to do that. I'm also accepting tips and donations now, and if you are interested in sitting on a live, taking part in a live video with me, I'm actually presenting my incoming wave findings on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time, US and Canada, so it comes out early. It's a long-form discussion, do Q&As, all kinds of fun stuff, and that is going to be for Patreon patrons. So if you want to be on my Patreon, it's a $1 minimum pledge to have access to that. Follow the links below. So what is going on when it comes to this week for you Leo people? Leo people, this week it looks like you are using your out, using your ace in the hole, using alternatives that you've been kind of keeping on a shelf and actually allowing them to now take part in your live stream, which is going to turn a lot on its head for you this week. The Four of Cups reversed is the overlight, the spiritual theme of what is occurring this week for you. Now, with the Four of Cups reversed, it's all about shaking things up, breaking out of ruts, getting out of patterns that have been far too constant. But with the Four of Cups reversed, what we do is we actually start bringing in the new to displace the old. It's kind of like the displacement waves that have been, amping up and in play since, March, April of this year, for those of you who follow the incoming wave horoscopes. By the way, that one's up, by the way. But the displacement that you're employing is giving you a chance to really kind of turn your life back into a way where it is under your control. But with the Four of Cups reversed, we have to stop co-creating the things that have been giving us the displeasure or making us feel as though we are trapped, stagnant, or caught in a vicious cycle or vicious loop. Remember, at some point, everything does come back to agreement. And what do our thoughts, actions, deeds, and do when they are working themselves out in these agreements? Are they agreeing to more of what we want or more of what we don't want? And with the Four of Cups reversed, we are starting to, really break those things apart. We are starting to give our favor in new ways, possibly, giving more energy to the friends, the projects, the family members, the spiritual practices and the pursuits that really do resonate with us, as opposed to holding up old agreements, be they personal, cultural, professional, whatever, that have ultimately been co-creating more dissatisfaction or more of the same. And it's important to understand that, right? It's a very big lesson of this week. And I'll be doing a video here pretty soon about the influx of the divine feminine, which is actually coming to correct the toxic feminine during this period. And that's actually, in a nutshell, a big part of it. So as we get on to the material concerns, we talk about your money, your personal abundance, your job, your professional aspirations. We've got the Six of Wands in reverse. And a lot of you are quitting something. We are getting out of something that we agreed to be a part of. We are stepping back from something that we have been agreeing to provide, either as a service for a certain crowd of people, maybe to be connected to in a certain division, a certain group, a certain team. But with the Six of Wands reversed, you are getting an out from something that you initially agreed to do, be a part of, or give your energy, money, and whatnot to. You're being given an out so that you can step out and do something completely different. And this is going to give you a chance to, of course, move again in a completely different direction. If you've been trying to maybe wiggle out of something that you feel stuck in, whether it's a contract, a lease, anything along those lines, a deadline, this is the week where you want to bring those discussions up, right? We vocalize and we actually lean into it. We don't, we don't contain our concern. We actually work with, with the energies presented to us to maneuver in different ways. The Six of Wands reverse can indicate a way for you to not only get away from something that's been binding you up. Yes, it may alienate. I am seeing for some of you, this may alienate you from certain teams, coworkers, crowds, followings, customer bases, but it is putting you in a direction where you're going to be able to actually work and serve with people that you would prefer anyway. As we get on to your community card, we talk about friends, relatives, other people in your life. There is going to be, I don't want to say that there's going to be some drama, because it doesn't have to be drama. But with the Three of Cups reversed, we are seeing the splintering and the breaking up of many groups, many cliques, many crowds around you during this time. And I do feel that this is also a big part of these, these vibrational body systems going to work right now. Groups that are like, they're completely uneven, inequitable, or maybe even stagnant and prohibitive to the growth of all involved are getting hit with this wave to kind of make people wake up and go, oh my goodness, nobody's growing here. It's like a stagnant country club kind of energy, or it's a clique or a group or a family that is actually holding people down, and creating an artificial reward system for staying stuck in one place. This is where a lot of you Leo people are probably going to be taking your leave. I do see you breaking away or breaking with a couple of groups, a couple of and I kind of feel like there is this also breaking away from pressure to conform to these groups in order to give that energy to something completely different. Because with the Three of Cups reversed, what often happens is that we are jumping from one paradigm socially to another because of what we are seeing is inhospitable in the situation that we are in. I do feel like a lot of you are going to be jumping some sinking ships that maybe other people are not aware are sinking. They just see drama. They don't see what that's a preamble of when it comes to things to come. But you are leaving. You are taking your leave of either a family dynamic, a social dynamic, a friendship dynamic, a group dynamic, team dynamic, spiritual group dynamic, and actually going off in your own way, going off your own direction. And with the Four of Cups reversed as the big influence here, it might actually be something that you've already been giving a little bit of time to, that you want to be able to make a deeper commitment with. As we get on to your challenge or your lesson that may present as a challenge, very much emphasizing this message. Okay, we've got the Sun card reversed. And with the Sun card reversed, we have to start getting rid of the complications in our life, getting rid of the things that have been, again, inorganic, artificial. We are seeing all of these are getting hit real freaking hard with these incoming waves. But anything that is ultimately too performative, too high maintenance, energy consuming, time consuming, and again, not growing, we have to take our leave of that, right? And yes, that does indicate you have to sometimes take stock of, well, I got to look and see what's going on with my life. Time to do some serious cleanup and decluttering, right? No judgment wherever you are in this, but I just want to see if you're paying attention. If you find that your social life is, you're not getting what, you're not having the time or the energy for the connections that you desire to deepen, maybe it's because there's too much availability to things that, we've already grown out of. If we find that it's too hard to maintain the peace in a working situation or a working partnership or in a romantic relationship, maybe it's overly complicated and therefore not necessarily something that is being handled the right way. It doesn't mean we're all going to run out and, do anything drastic or crazy this week, but we have to get rid of the complications. It's kind of bringing in that wholesome simplicity of the sun, right? We want to see how clean is the food we're consuming, so to speak. I mean, literally, but also at the same time checking to see how clean is the nourishment that we're getting from our own life stream, from our projects, from our friends, from our family members. things along those lines. Your challenge is to see what you can do to bring in that wholesome simplicity so that it is cleaner, it is more nourishing, it is more vibrant. And with the Sun card reversed, honoring your desire, honoring your call to that with the Four of Cups in reverse. Now, as we get onto the relationship zone, when we talk about partnerships, romance, we've got the Temperance card in reverse. There are some incompatibilities that need to be acknowledged and honored for what they are. Because with the Temperance card reversed, it's basically saying, look, for the health of all concerned, we do have to find a way to start taking a bit more space for ourselves, to have more space for each individual in this relationship to grow and expand. Because the Temperance card reversed is kind of a warning card. It does indicate here that, forcing things to be joined at the hip can sometimes lead to codependency, which can sometimes lead to a two-headed monster instead of a relationship. And so we do need to see, well, where are our lives maybe linked up a bit too much? Where are we maybe stuck together a bit too much, cramping each other's style just a bit too much? And where is it appropriate to take those spaces in the highest interest of all concerned? With the Four of Cups reversed, you have the freedom to pursue things that you would desire, and they have the freedom to pursue things they would desire. Who is able to actually have the life the way they want to have their life is the question here. And sometimes certain aspects of our lives we don't get to have with a partner. And that's okay. No judgment. It's only the toxic feminine, programming that we're all working out of during this period that makes us think, no, oh my God, that equals abandonment and infidelity and bad things. No, that's toxic femininity. There's a need to bring in that divine feminine to nourish that sense of, look, we have to be able to all grow and flourish in that natural balance of being able to be our own natural expressions. And sometimes being stuck at the hip with everything is the opposite of that. As we get on to those of you who are currently single or available to new people, I am seeing, yes, you're going to have to go through this as well with somebody new. That may be, it's not saying that we couldn't have a relationship with this person, but the type of relationship that we could start off with or create right now is going to still require a little bit more space between us, because we are not going to mesh or anything like that right now in a way where we could be joint at the hip. And again, it just might not be the kind of relationship that does ever join at the hip, and that's okay as well. So that is what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session, go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.